I'm Mr. Mark.
And I'm Mr. Daniel. We work in Child Watch at the Ann Arbor YMCA.
Some of you might know us and some of you might not, but either way, we're happy to have you here with us today.
And today we're going to learn about colors. We'll start off with this book called Mouse Paint.
And then Mr. Daniel is going to teach us how to mix colors with paint.
And then Mr. Mark has a cool craft for you guys to do at home.
And then we're going to finish up with a song called Colors of the World. Let's have fun together today.
Mouse Paint by Ellen Stoll Walsh. Once there were 3 white mice on a white piece of paper. The cat couldn't find them. One day, while the cat was asleep, the mice saw 3 jars of paint. 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 blue. They thought it was mouse paint. They climbed right in. Then 1 was red, 1 was yellow, and 1 was blue. They dripped puddles of paint onto the paper. The puddles looked like fun. The red mouse stepped into a yellow puddle and did a little dance. His red feet stirred the yellow puddle until... "Look," he cried. "Red feet in a yellow puddle make orange." The yellow mouse hopped into a blue puddle. His feet mixed and stirred and mixed until... "Look down," said the red mouse and the blue mouse. "Yellow feet in a blue puddle make green." Then the blue mouse jumped into a red puddle. He splashed and mixed and danced until... "Purple!" they all shouted. "Blue feet in a red puddle make purple." But the paint on their fur got sticky and stiff. So they washed themselves down to a nice soft white. And painted the paper instead. They painted 1 part red and 1 part yellow. And 1 part blue. They mixed red and yellow to paint an orange part. Yellow and blue to paint a green part, and blue and red to paint a purple part. But they left some white because of the cat. The end. Hey everyone, it's Mr. Daniel again. In this segment, we're going to explore the primary colors in paint, just like the little mice did in the book we just read. With the primary colors that we have here, red, blue, and yellow, you can make just about any color that you can think of. And I'm going to explore that with you right now. I would recommend that you hold on to your paint because Mr. Mark still has a craft for you to do, but if you'd like to follow along with me, feel free to. I am going to be painting in my sketchbook just so we can explore the colors on paper too. But before I start, I think I will start mixing them on my palette. You can use just about anything as a palette. I actually used a disposable plate most of the time, but I just found my paint palette recently, so I will be using that. When you are grabbing your paint, you must make sure that your brush is nice and clean. And I think I want to start exploring by trying to make the color green. And green can be made with yellow and blue. reminds me of a pretty tree, some leaves, or even the grass. Put that aside, and I'm going to grab some water, dunk my brush into it, swirl it around, try to get as much paint as I want to get off so I can start a new color. And then try to get some of that extra water off by going like that softly. And I have a special rag just for my paints to dry off my brush. If you are going to use the same color again, you don't need to clean off your brush. You should clean it off every time you want a new color so that your colors don't get muddy and don't turn into a color you don't want. I think maybe next we explore the color orange. And for orange, you mix some red and some yellow. Reminds me of a pretty sky when the sun is setting or rising. Such a nice color, isn't it? And now again, we're going to clean our brush and our water. And get some of the extra water that's left over on our bristles off. Thinking it's a little bit more. And then dry it off again. What should we do next? Maybe let's make some purple. Purple can be made with red and blue. Starting off with some blue and grabbing some red. Still looks really blue though, doesn't it? Let's try grabbing some more red. There you go, that's more of a purple. With my paints, it's a little hard to get to purple. So if with your paints it's hard for you to get to purple too and it looks a little too blue, just keep adding some more red and you'll have a nice purple. This one's pretty dark and the camera isn't that good at picking it up, but it's a very rich purple. But if maybe your colors are a little too dark and you don't want them to be that dark, you can explore with white. When you put white into a color, it gets lighter. Doesn't that look so nice? I'm gonna clean off my brush again. Look at how gray the paint made the water. Now we're gonna grab whatever we're cleaning our brush with again and try to get as much of the paint that we can get off of it. Mine still looks like it has a bit of blue in it, so I'm gonna put it in water again. Try my best to get it out. Alright. I think today I want to paint a rainbow. Do you remember the colors of the rainbow, or do you know them? What I say to remember the colors of the rainbow is Roy G. Biv, which makes up the first letter of each color. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So we'll start off with red. My orange has dried up a little bit, so I'm gonna make it again with red and yellow. Then after orange comes yellow. But I'm going to clean my brush real quick. Get my yellow. There you go. My rainbow is a bit messy, but that's okay. What's important is that I made it. Not all of your art has to be perfect. What matters is that you made it and you put effort into it. So the color that comes next in the rainbow is green. My green's dried up again, so I'm gonna grab some blue and some yellow and mix it right up here. There's green. After green comes blue. Let me just clean my brush real quick. Awesome. And then there's only one more color missing in our rainbow, which is purple or violet. cleaning off my brush real quick, and then we will mix a little bit more purple because once again I get dried. And I like my colors, or specifically I like my purples to be a little lighter than dark. And a little redder than blue. That's a purple I like. So now we are going to add it to the rainbow. There you have it. There's my rainbow. Doesn't it look so pretty? After it rains and if it's sunny outside, you should look in the sky and see if you can find a rainbow of your own. Or maybe even when you're playing with bubbles. Sometimes rainbows show up in bubbles. Thank you for joining me in this part.
For today's craft, we're going to be making a masking tape painting. Here's one that I made yesterday to show off what they look like. To make a masking tape painting, you will need canvas or boards. You can get canvas or boards at the dollar store, at Five Below, or at a craft store like Joann's or Michael's. You will need masking tape. I grabbed a clean cloth because I'm going to be finger painting, but you can also use brushes. You might also want newspaper if you have little ones who might be making a mess. And paint. I have paint in the 3 primary colors. This is acrylic paint, but for little ones or anybody who might put paint in their mouth, I would recommend a non-toxic paint like Crayola finger paint. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some strips of masking tape and apply them to the canvas to create a pattern. When you apply your masking tape, make sure you have it pressed down really firmly into the texture of the canvas or boards so that no paint will bleed underneath. And then, when you're ready, you can start painting. You can paint any way you like and mix any colors you like, or you don't have to mix any colors at all if you don't want to. But if you mix colors, it might be fun to try to figure out which ones you're mixing, or guess what color they might make, before you mix them all together. if you have a cloth, and if you don't want to mix all of your colors together necessarily, you can wipe your hands off on your cloth, which makes it a nice tool to have. Once your painting is dry, and I'm not going to wait for mine to dry because I want to show everybody at home what it will look like, but I would recommend that you wait for yours to dry. Once you're all done painting, you can take off your masking tape and you can see a pattern of clean white lines. And I think these paintings look so lovely and interesting and cool that you could hang them up in your house, and then you could always be proud of the work that you've done. Thank you for joining me for the craft. I hope you enjoyed it. I am green today. I chirp with joy like a cricket's song. I am gray today. Gloomy and damp, a morning fog. I am orange today. Loud and messy like finger paint on the wall. I am red today, hopping mad, a playground ball. I am black today, strong and tall, a great big bear. I am purple today, bright and happy like a butterfly in the air. I am rainbow today, all the colors of the world. I'm a rainbow today, all the colors of the world. I'm a rainbow today, all the colors of the world are in me. I am yellow today, I shine my light out like the sun. I am white today, soft and quiet like new snow. I am blue today, calm as glass and cool like the sea. I'm a rainbow today, all the colors of the world. I'm a rainbow today, all the colors of the world. I'm a rainbow today, all the colors of the world are in me.
Thank you for spending time with us today. We hope you had some fun and learned something new.
Stay safe, friends.
Keep working hard at home.
And remember, there will always be somebody who cares about you. Bye!
Bye.